So for our project, we decided to look over women during World War II. So for our driving question, it was how were women in the workplace affected by World War II? Our individual profile was about a woman named Mary Anderson. She was the director of the Women's Bureau of the U.S. Department of Labor for 25 years. She was also an immigrant from Sweden. She came to the U.S. when she was 16 years old. Before being a part of the board, she was a machine operator for 18 years at a shoe factory. While working at the shoe factory, she was a part of the boot and shoe workers union. And she was also an active member of the Women's Trade Union League.
Okay, Hunter just finished up with his individual profile on Mary Anderson, and so I'm gonna continue with our online curation. So, first off, there were a lot of empowering posters to try and encourage women to work because that was something that hadn't been really available to a lot of women, and so they needed a lot of new recruits to go in and fill in the jobs at the factories and all like the wartime industries. So like yeah, one example is like the Rosie We Can Do It poster right here, and then as you can see right here, we have some photos of women working, and those are just important to see because it can really show like the environment that they had to work in and kind of like the change between the past where they hadn't really been getting very many jobs because there were so many men around and they're taking all the jobs. And then we also have descriptions of women in the workforce, and this described like how they're doing their jobs, but also how they were hired and like sort of the expectations that were given from like their employers, because some of like the standards that they had were almost like a bit sexist or like just a very discriminatory towards the women they were like employing, and so that even though they were getting a lot more jobs, it definitely was not the same. Uh, does definitely didn't have like the same rights in like working that women have today. Um, yeah, and then here we have the children's book that we're gonna show, and then for conclusion, we stated that women gained recognition for their accomplishments and their abilities in the workplace, and this set the groundwork for more rights for them in the future for working. Um, while it did give them a lot of opportunities when the men came back from World War II, a lot of these opportunities were taken away, and and yeah, so that's basically all we have.